Stars, Prince Harry had a bit of a victory over Rupert Murdoch and his global empire of toxic rags. But, as predicted, the future king, Prince William, his brother, can't come to grips with how he has already lost the race to be the preeminent royal of his generation. Everything William wants and tries to get by subterfuge and all those terrible press officers he employs, those little weasels in Kensington Palace, all those bot farms that put us through it here on this platform, Harry naturally gets, and in spades, respect, bravery, a happy, loving marriage. Oh, you know they're getting it in. Meghan's love and respect, success, freedom. Even William's own wife, Kate Middleton, likes Harry more than her spouse, especially these days, especially after December 28th, 2023, when it all went down and she disappeared for most of a year. It seems like Kate Middleton never really cared for Meghan, but maybe that's because Princess Meghan took Prince Harry away from Kate, right? She had her husband in title and to breed with, but she also had a spare to be nice to her and make her laugh, right? The best of both worlds, not just one prince, too. She was unable to get Prince Harry unloaded onto Pippa because, as we know, Prince Harry's tastes run to the exotic in the best way. And of course, Pippa ended up marrying the giraffe, whose father is involved in some sort of legal scandal having to do with an underage girl in France. Pippa's giraffe's family owns the Eden Rock Resort in St. Bart's. So maybe Pippa's doing okay, although she never looks quite pleased with her lot in life. But it's very clear that Prince William has been jealous of Prince Harry ever since they were small children. And when Princess Diana's brother, Charles Spencer, praises or shows support for Prince Harry, the Invictus Games, Prince Harry's legal victory over the Murdochs, William predictably uses Charles Spencer's daughters to praise him and show support of him. Kitty Spencer is Charles Spencer's daughter, and they have an estranged relationship. Lady Kitty Spencer has praised Prince William for his work with Centrepoint to end young homelessness in the UK. But he's not quite doing that. I haven't heard of one person getting housing and no longer being homeless because of William's work with Centrepoint or the art gallery exhibit about homelessness or whatever he does for a few hours a day when he's not helicoptering between one estate and perhaps one special friend and another. Princess Diana's niece, who is also involved in the charity, revealed she is extremely proud of William in a new interview with Tatler magazine. It comes after Lady Kitty Spencer's father, Earl Charles Spencer, was quick to praise Prince Harry earlier this week for securing an apology for his mother in a social media statement from the Murdoch Empire. Last year, when Charles, his son, and Diana's sister showed up for Harry's 10th anniversary event for the Invictus Games, Prince William then had the Spencer sisters highlighted to show that, yes, he too has relationships with Diana's side of the family. None of Diana's family have been pictured at William and Kate's children's christening. Instead, Princess Diana's family were at the christenings of Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet. I'm not saying that William doesn't have a relationship with his mother's side. Instead, it seems whenever Diana's brother publicly shows some sort of support for Prince Harry, Willy immediately has articles and events showing that he too has support. It's reactive, just the way that somebody is paying these trolls and bots from bot farms in Pakistan and Russia. It doesn't make sense. Even my old posts about such matters get 20 to 100 comments, one after the next after the next. No real human person will ever comment, even on a video that's their favorite or their most hated, that much in such a short period of time. I feel like there's some kind of metric that bot farms have to live up to, that they made a certain number of comments expressing a certain point of view or skepticism, but it's a pain in the, you know what. Some have suggested that Kitty Spencer and her sister were never really old enough to have a meaningful relationship with Princess Diana. She was only 6 when Princess Diana passed away. Praise from the brother who knew what Diana went through and fought against means a lot more than praise from the rich daughter living off the family name. Ouch. Prince William is going to be king one day, and it is regrettable how pathetically insecure he is. He has all the honor and glory and the duchy money, but Prince Harry got all the personality, charm, focus, and sober effectiveness. No one's going to frown at anyone having a youthful nightclub relationship with the bottle or substances, but the point is you outgrow it when you have children, or rather that you should. The honor and glory were handed to Prince William because of birth order. He had it from the second he took his first breath. He didn't have to earn anything. Prince Harry, while not understanding why at a young age, he recognized this and accepted it. Princess Diana saw the different personalities in her 2 boys. Unfortunately, Billy the Basher will be nothing but an heir and eventually a king, while Prince Harry outshines him in every aspect of life because Harry actually did the work and earned what he has. It's a wonder that Charles doesn't come out publicly and praise Billy the way he does Harry. Charles is definitely a piece of work, considering his own colorful personal history of affairs and cheating and marrying the mistress. But he did try to advocate for the boys when they were younger. Did he really? What I understand is that he set Harry up to be a problem child so it could look like he was being a father and coming to the rescue, right? Like Harry was sent to visit some rehab center, and then the press took photos and wrote stories as if Harry was actually enrolled in rehab. Does anyone recall that story? But yeah, Charles's energy is giving that, Prince William is kind of a lost cause. He is who he is, and he is not getting better, right? He has the training, he has all the time, all the opportunity. What does he do? He has been off the job most of last year, much of this year. He's gone on weeks-long hunting trips to Hugh Grosvenor's hunting estate, I think in Portugal. He hasn't been on deck for much, and when he does, it's an hour or 2, and then he flies away on his helicopter to parts unknown and folks unknown. Ever since Charles became king, William has been advocating that he is ready to be king. Given how long Charles had to wait, I don't really think Charles is going to give up the throne until he's good and ready, or until, Mother Nature takes it away from him. William believes he would do much better than Charles, and even Kate and Team Rocket, aka the Middletons, have been briefing the press about how Kate is ready to be queen. Well, really queen consort. That's the title that both Camilla and eventually Kate have. And because Queen Elizabeth is no longer with us, Camilla's on some slick-ish and shortened it to queen, but she's not a reigning monarch by any means. She is and will always be King Charles' side piece, with her cigarettes and her frumpy outfits, and that, if you're familiar with the Dynasty series, her hair is giving Crystal Carrington from Dynasty, circa 1985, in my humble opinion. People are seeing that Charles and William are fighting. If not behind the scenes, if not passive aggressively, there just doesn't seem to be harmony between Kensington and Buckingham Palace. And I think we see it play out in the press. The only way those two palaces and those two royal men come together is when they're trying to stick it to Prince Harry and Princess Meghan. William has been trying to float the notion through anonymous media posts that he's ready to be king. Any observant person can tell that he really isn't ready. The swaying, the rapid weight loss, how kind of shrunken and gray he looks, how inconsistent his appearances are, and honestly, they took away foreign visits from him when he stumbled into a LGBT friendly pub in Poland after making some, I would say, unauthorized remarks in a theater of war. Like he just doesn't, he's ready to have the job, he wants the salary, all the pomp and circumstance, but clearly William lacks the experience and discernment to be a careful, even just a figurehead. You don't say all that. And you don't go places that aren't on your official itinerary. You just don't have that kind of discretion. And he's in his 40s, so if he doesn't know by now, I think being king will be a tainted chalice for William, just like it has been for King Charles. The look on King Charles's face, weary, wary, fearful, overwhelmed, during his coronation, said a lot. And then, boom, he was diagnosed with cancer. And I believe King Charles has cancer. Other folks, it just seems a little bit like a coincidence and convenient and doesn't bear the hallmarks of an authentic cancer and chemo experience. Yeah, no sunlight if you're going through that. Yeah, no big crowds like at Wimbledon. What? Anyway, I don't think much changed for Chuck except the title. The one time he wore that crown and now he gets to open Parliament, I think he always thought once he became king he would be magically revered and respected the way his mother was. But he and his current wife are so unpopular that even being king and queen doesn't equal love. I think ascending the throne was a big disappointment to his ego. They have been floating the notion of totally skipping over the heir apparent and making Billy and Kitty wait for at least a decade. Wow. And he has the same ideas that his father had. However, the crown will not make him more popular. And yes, Charles Spencer always steps up to support Harry, while Chuck the King never has anything nice to say about Harry in public and still is stiffing our boy on his security whenever he does, spend 24 hours or less on Salty Island. Why does King Charles have so much animosity towards Harry? I would guess it's because he doesn't toe the line and follow the script and consider himself a Parker Bowles the way that Prince William has, right? Prince William doesn't say or do anything to defend the memory of his late mother. He has, in fact, claimed that his mother was, quote, paranoid when it came to her victimization by the paparazzi and the press. And that's not nice. That ain't it. That is not going to endear you to Americans or to the subjects of the British Commonwealth. And when it comes to respect, opportunity, wealth, fame, as well as being loved by the people and his wife, Harry has earned it. William has the palace and protection, while Harry has had to earn and work for what he has. William literally competes with Harry to this day. And literally in Spare, the press briefings against Harry and Princess Meghan are made so crystal clear. And I can see Camilla Parker Bowles' hand in it. And I can see La Usurpadora Camilla's hand in those press briefings. And, with the complicity of King Charles and the palace, in my humble opinion. The fact is that Prince Harry outshines Prince William. Otherwise, William wouldn't need to prop himself up against his brother in such a reactive way. William's work is simply claiming others' work as his own. And they tried claiming credit for Invictus and Harry's work and popularity for William, and we see how that worked out. It's kind of pathetic, and it's astounding how Kensington Palace in particular can't seem to understand how Prince William is coming off like a weak fraud who might have some issues. Let's put it like that. There was hope that there would be this awesome foursome, right? Like Harry, Meghan, William, Kate. But of course, William had his own jealousy issues over Meghan, who apparently he had crushed on watching Suits in, whatever Kensington Palace apartment or cottage he was at with Kate. And then I really believe that Kate grieved the loss of having Harry as a sidekick and support to what has always been a difficult relationship and a difficult marriage with Prince William. Prince William is kind of a prick. He's entitled, he's rude, he's bossy. We've seen it on camera. He's a big old, angry, hard to control, entitled man. There's a question about what actually happened to Thomas Kingston. There's other questions and other mysteries and bodies all piled up with connection to this royal family. And, Kate's a brave one. She's like Indiana Jones. We saw her paparazzi picture out at the eyeglass shop. It seemed like it was completely choreographed, just like in the old days when she was one of several girlfriends in rotation for William before he finally married her after 9 years of dating, I believe. But as awesome and unstoppable as the four of them could have been, what a force for good in the world they could have been, within or without the confining artifice of the monarchy, it was not to be. William is a bully, plain and simple, right? Like a lot of rich men with power, right? Whether it's Trump or Musk or Zuckerberg or Bezos or any number of hereditary title and wealth people from around the world. Rich men with power are often just insecure, pathetic losers in real life. Tiny, tiny shwee-shwees. You would think they'd be on top of the world. But if scrawny, gray-skinned Willy don't put down that bottle that, in my opinion, has him swaying, then what has to be a fatty liver might not let him be king whenever the time comes, and it feels like the Spencer sisters are being, kind of trashy and trying to get into a reality show like Kate's Uncle Gary. One of them got arrested for beating up a guy in a McDonald's drive-thru in the middle of the night in the UK. Who knew they even had McDonald's over there? And there are few women in the Aristo set who are as enamored with Tatler and Town and Country and these other kind of society rags. It's just, you would think if you were rich, top out of sight rich, we wouldn't see you, we wouldn't hear from you unless you were at like a charity ball or something like that. But these girls seem to have a little bit of the same kind of hunger for fame that the Wisteria sisters, and by that I mean Kate Middleton and Pippa Middleton, right? Their brother wasn't rolling with them when they were out and about at different parties and different events, bullying Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, and, kind of, I'm sure it's learned behavior from private school. Shout out to all the private school girlies. You know how it is. People are so passive aggressive, and I'm prettier than you. I'm I'm more fit than you. That whole game, right? But they're still commoners versus the fact that Princess Eugenie and Princess Beatrice are Prince William's cousins, and they are titled aristos. Titled from birth, not titled by marriage, titled by birth. Now, we know there's some issues with their father, but, you know, it feels like Kitty Spencer is blah, right? And for Kitty Spencer to turn around and praise Prince William for doing the barest minimum, it's like a dry slice of white bread congratulating the other dry slice of white bread for also being dry, sliced, and white bread. Like, okay, what was special? What's the unique achievement? Charles Spencer keeps irritating Prince William by not kissing his behind. But it's very pathetic and obvious that 2 days later, Prince William uses the same Spencer family that he used to get some flattery about his Centerpoint volunteer work. He's running the same protocol number 79. Like, oh, get Kitty Spencer to say I did something that equals work. Now I go back on vacation. Prince William has got to be jealous of Prince Harry. The Riz, the Netflix series, the, kind of pulled up by his own bootstraps global shadow that he casts over the heir to the British throne. It's juicy, it's interesting, but I think that Prince Harry manages to seem sincere and humble, even though he's, doing big things with big people. It's sad how the future King of England, William, can't come to grips with how he's already lost the weight, with how he's already lost the race. Harry has naturally everything that William wants. And it bothers William that Harry has the balls to do what he does without apology. William won't ever have that because he's going to be king. Harry has stood up for what's right in the face of adversity, right? With the Murdochs, with so many things, with the treatment of Princess Meghan, with seeking justice for people in Africa and Colombia and all different parts of the world, and William never has. It's got to bother William knowing his little brother with the red hair is the one that has been fighting the system while William just sits pretty with unknown special friends and certainly off-grid the majority of the work days of the year. William wants praise and fame and recognition badly. But Harry gets it, even though William still feels like it's his birthright. Well, William, you can't have everything, including a full hairline. The way that the royal family sticks to the generational trauma pattern is wild. For over a century, they just keep repeating this pattern, right? It's almost like they're blind to their own character flaws, and they keep being aggressive and making mistakes that I'm sure, get covered up. But still, the rage turned inward, the acting out. Kate was paparazzi photographed with Band-Aids on her finger again, without her engagement ring on, right? All of these things seem like choreographed for efficient attention to be taken away from Harry's victory in court against the Murdoch newspaper empire, and also Princess Meghan's new lifestyle series for Netflix that has been pushed back by a month out of respect for the wildfires that are still raging across California, right? I think that we saw Kate Middleton pop up in the press like a groundhog, trying to steal some shine from Princess Meghan, but it kind of didn't work out, and it looked kind of silly because it was like, why? Why are you out shopping alone for eyeglasses? What? with the band-aids and where's your ring, and you know, it's making Kate and William come across like narcissist exes that just keep popping up, keep popping up, keep popping up, trying to get your attention, trying to steal your shine, trying to distract. And, it just isn't, it's not on the level. All this bullying and allegations made against Harry and Meghan that they're failing and that they're going to lose their deal with Netflix, and Harry and Meghan are divorcing, and all this, it just doesn't ring true. It looks to me like Prince Harry and Princess Meghan are perfectly happy, and they're doing things for the community in California with the fires, and they're conducting their charity business and their TV business, and Omid Scobie's going to make his new series. And it just feels like Kate and William are just, digging their nails into their palms and conducting a continued smear campaign because they jealous and they can't control Ish, right? William was just a little bit older than Harry when Diana passed away. He was old enough to read the papers, and it had to be tough hearing about his parents' private lives and their cheating. He may have been more of an emotional support to his mother. Princess Diana's interview given at the time was seen as a horrible betrayal by the palace. I think Harry was younger and still had a more idealized view of his mom and the Spencer family. But, the difference between the brothers, the difference between their stance, even now about their mom and what she suffered with her marriage, and Camilla, La Usurpadora, and the paparazzi and the press, it couldn't be more starkly different, right? William is giving pick-me energy, like, oh, yeah, whatever you want, Dad, whatever you want, Camilla, I just want to be king, and I'm going to go along and get along and never push back and never defend Diana. Whereas Harry's like, nah, F that, right? Justice for his mom, which he has achieved in a very dramatic way, as opposed to the secret payoff that William took allegedly from the Murdochs a year or more ago, right? All that money, and you still stoop to take a payoff from this horrid Australian that hounded your mother along with the rest of the tabloid press and contributed to her unaliving. It's pathetic. But, stars, I'd be curious to know what you think.